Flor Hassan Nahom is the outgoing deputy mayor of Jerusalem and current Israel special envoy for the foreign ministry. She's now joining us live from Jerusalem, Israel. Madam Hassan Nahom, welcome to WION World is One. It's good to see you. Israel has rebuked plans by the US to sanction the IDF's, what they're calling IDF's Netzah Yehuda battalion over what the Americans claim are serious human rights violations in the West Bank. I want to know from you, why is Israel so outraged by this move, if at all the Americans have evidence or proof that indeed human rights abuses were committed?
Well, it just makes no sense and is completely unprecedented, and I'll tell you why. If our own army, we're living in a democracy, we're living in a very robust democracy with a very robust judicial system, and our army has a very robust internal investigation units. If we weren't one of those armies, if we didn't have our own internal investigation units, it would make sense. But we do. We investigate any allegations, we deal with them. There have been many soldiers that we've sanctioned, put in jail, and so it makes no sense, and it almost feels a little bit paternalistic and colonialistic to be involving themselves within our own internal investigation procedures.
Madam Nahom, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying that their aim is to eliminate Hamas in Gaza. But if you focus on the West Bank, it's more of a reflection of what's happening in Gaza. Madam Nahom, why West Bank?
Well, I don't know what you mean by a reflection. I really don't. Judea and Samaria, as we call the West Bank, unfortunately, has got a lot of Hamas members as well. In fact, Fatah, the Palestinian Authority, which is the ruling authority, normally actually coordinates with Israel to get rid of the Hamas terrorists that exist within their authority, within their autonomous authority. And we've been, for many years working together in order to curb the incidence of terrorism. It is used as a terrorist base by Hamas and by many other fringe terrorist organizations. And you have to understand, Judea and Samaria, I live in Jerusalem, of course, is 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers from where we all live. So we have to be very vigilant in order to live safe lives in our public spaces here.
All right. There's a lot of hue and cry following the passing of the $95 billion military package by Congress in the US. Hamas leadership says that it will enhance the IDF to commit more atrocities in Gaza. I know that the Israeli Prime Minister has said and has welcomed this move. What's your reaction?
Well, first of all, the majority of that aid package is going to defensive technologies, just like we last Saturday night were attacked in an unprecedented attack by another sovereign country to a sovereign country, 350 missiles that could have destroyed the country and caused great carnage. Most of that anti-aircraft weaponry was defensive, and that's what Israel's ethos is. We have the Israeli Defense Forces. Everything we've ever done here is defensive. We've wanted many, many occasions to make peace with the Palestinians, to help them usher in autonomy and a new state. And at every single juncture, they have always chosen terrorism and war rather than creating their own state. Because the bottom line is that the problem of this conflict is not that there isn't a Palestinian state. The problem of this conflict is that there's a Jewish state that the Palestinian leadership have never ideologically or emotionally accepted. And so the majority of our army and the majority of our technology in the army are defensive. And this is what the aid package will go to replenish our defensive weaponry that we had to use a lot of it in the attack from Iran to Israel a week ago.
Madam Nahom, allow me to go back to my first and initial question. What if the US sanctions this IDF unit? What will happen next?
Well, I hope it doesn't happen, mainly because it sets up a bad precedence for the Americans as well. So imagine if they set a global precedent that any country can sanction a particular army unit and somebody does it against the Navy SEALs of the United States. It's a little bit ludicrous, I believe, and I hope it doesn't happen. I hope they see sense.
All right, I've been talking to Madam Flor Hassan Nahom, who is the outgoing Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem and current Israel Special Envoy for the Foreign Ministry. Madam Nahom, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.